Craig Vahun in the studio this week. Lehman Wall in here.
Good morning.
Just yourself, too.
It's probably not going to be near as exciting without my partner in crime today. So I'm going to have to be on my A game.
Man, and I guess this week we're talking Coffeyville Interstate Fair Ranch Rodeo. And did it up in Kansas? Did anybody make it up there for this one? Or?
Yes, Miss Casey Hooper. She did make the trip, and she's still recovering. You know, it was such a long experience for her. So
you guys have made, as a foundation, at least one person, I think, to every rodeo.
Oh,
if not, it's
absolutely.
Been really.
Yeah, it's just kind of what we do in support of our Sanctioned Ranch Rodeo committees and being there to represent WRCA and all that. You know, it's important that we're there and meet people. So if it's not one of our staff members, then one of our board members would travel. Yeah. But we're going to be at every single one of them, being out there supporting, saying hi.
That's great.
You bet.
That makes for a busy season for y'all too. But I mean, some of those, I'm sure some of you guys are probably like, well, I want to go to that one anyway. So.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you bet. We love getting out there. It's not a job, Craig.
Yeah.
It's a blessing, and you get to go see all the guys and their families and hang out with our Sanctioned Rodeo committees. Are just the best people, you know.
Yeah.
They've got such big hearts, and they're really good at what they do. So we get to go out there, and, you know, sometimes you kind of get to sit around, talk shop, swap ideas, what's working, you know.
Yeah.
So and plus getting back out and seeing all the ranches, you know. They're very competitive, but what a big family. When you come into town, you know, they just treat you like you're one of their own, and it's pretty special.
I'm just going to say, in these last couple have been, and this was the last one, the last couple have been in Kansas, right? Do they wait? No, there's one back in July we had in Kansas, and also, a couple in July. I was going to say, some of these, I'm guessing you only get to see these folks either at finals or at specific rodeos, because those families can only go to those rodeos or whatever. So.
That's right. Yeah, if you get into their neck of the woods, then you see them. But if we go off to New Mexico or Colorado or Wyoming or Nebraska, sometimes you're seeing a different crowd.
Yeah. So you got to get up there and get your visited in while you can. Yeah, like you mentioned Wyoming. I imagine the ones that go to Wyoming are probably not the ones you're going to see in South Texas or
That's
something.
right.
It's just too far to travel for those
That's
guys.
right. Yes, sir.
Got to go get your visiting time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Coffeyville, did she send you any notes back at least?
Yes. Casey gave me a lot of good notes, and we'll talk results, and then of course talk to the winning team and all that, and kind of run through things. But you know, one of the things about Ranch Rodeo is you just kind of, it's like a box of chocolates, right? You never know what you're going to get, and these guys had to. It just like around, you know, the Amarillo area here lately with all the rain, they had to deal with like 8 inches of torrential downpour. So, you know, it was a muddy, sloppy mess. The photos that, you know, we've got, these guys are just mud balls from head to toe. And so that's not the funnest environment to be out and competing, but, what are you going to do?
Yeah. At the same time, though, if it's that muddy, then it's not even worth trying to keep dry. So just go enjoy it.
Yeah. There's, you know, in some cases, it's just a guy will just go ahead and go belly flop in the mud just to get it over with. He's like, I know it's going to happen. Right. So it's just game on.
You can't fight it. I don't care what you wear. You're just going to have it on you.
That's right.
Did she say it was a good crowd then, or was it? I imagine it was held back a little bit if it was that muddy and rainy.
Yeah, I'm sure that
diehards, families,
family, close relatives, people you paid off to be there, that kind of stuff. Yeah, but you know they're troopers because they actually have some other things during the day. They've got a junior ranch rodeo for the kiddos.
Yeah,
it's a very cool.
What all events do they have then?
Yeah, this ranch rodeo that they do for the kids. They try to mirror as much as they can what the adults do, but of course, you know, you have to make some changes.
Yeah.
But they'll do a branding. Like literally these kiddos come in and heel calves and they drag them to the fire and the kids do the branding just like always. Team pinning, you know, sorting, stuff like that the kids can do horseback. And they love it.
Oh, I mean,
they all want to be horseback.
Yeah.
You can't keep them off. And so they do a great job supporting our youth up in that part of the country. And they went ahead. They had it. I mean, they competed just like everybody else.
Are you kidding me, man? Them kids will have more fun in the mud. Can't keep kids out of the mud.
That's true. Yeah, and they had a ranch horse show for the adults, and in the rain, they just kept at it.
Oh, good. Good.
So they were resilient, shall we say.
You just never know.
Yeah.
Weather up in Kansas is not too different than down here in the Panhandle. It's just not knowing what you're going to get the next day.
Well, and those guys aren't going to complain about a rain. You know, you need it.
Nobody,
so
nobody's going to say a bad word about rain.
No, sir. Just do what you got to do and get on with it.
Don't you dare. Did she say how many teams are up there?
Well, this was a pretty big rodeo because it was the final.
It's the final qualifier.
Final chance to get to Amarillo. So they actually had 20 ranches.
That is a lot,
It is. It's big. And the cool thing is the way that Jackie and her crew does it. If you've qualified, you're not allowed to enter their rodeo.
That's cool too, yeah.
Purposely trying to give everybody a chance. So the guys were, they were going in there looking for that chance to come to Amarillo. And
weather and all.
They fought through it. But, only one got that nod. So let's jump into the awards a little bit here, Craig. We got first place. Our friends, they actually qualified last year. We'll talk a little bit about what happened to them and how that kind of played out. But Detwiler Cattle Company and Heck Cattle Company, they took first place up there. And, it'll be interesting to talk to Chad because the rain did cause some issues that, kind of leaned in their favor at times. And they were lucky to kind of weather the storm, so to speak, in some ways. And then, I said lucky. I probably shouldn't say that. Chad's not going to like saying that. Not they were lucky. It just with the rain, it really changed the concept of the rodeo.
Yeah.
Second place was Barbed Wire S and Cross S. That ranch combination is out of Oklahoma and Kansas. They got second place. It's good for them. We haven't seen them much this year, and so really competitive. They're taking a second place, at a rodeo. That was nice. And then third is Grey G Bar out of Oklahoma. And that ranch, I tell you what, they are tough. And a lot of the rodeos they've been in this year, the ones they've gone to, they've been top 3 every time. And, man, they just couldn't get that nod to championship. But a very, very competitive ranch team at the Grey G Bar.
Mm. So, I bet you now any of those guys that didn't qualify get to make it, you still see them down here at the rodeo?
Absolutely.
I imagine if you're in Wyoming, you might not make that trip so much. But if you're up in Kansas or Oklahoma or just anywhere around Texas, New Mexico, it wouldn't be too bad to, drive over to Amarillo to, Saturday, catch a Saturday rodeo or something, catch up with some people. Yeah,
a lot of them do. It kind of depends on what's going on at the ranch because they just might not be able to get away. And if they do, they might sneak down for the weekend or whatever. But some of them, this is their vacation. So whether they qualify or not, family loads up. They come down. They want to see all their friends. And honestly, a lot of them shop at the Trade and Trappings to pick up their saddle that they've ordered or, whatever they need.
Plus just to keep up with what's going on with all that stuff. There's stuff in there. I would imagine that some of these companies are bringing their state-of-the-art, here's what's new, for working ranches, equipment-wise with them. So I know when I was there was some people up there just saying, this is brand new, this is new technology, and it was kind of interesting because, again, I'm watching as a tourist, you know what I mean? But I'm watching the people who actually use that equipment, and they're into it. They're understanding it.
That's right. Well, you talk, the ranch equipment is a good example, and then a lot of our sponsors that are there that are animal health companies, or different agricultural service providers, whether it be insurance or whatever. These companies are there and they talk to people. So when you're walking through, I may be looking for a new pair of boots at that moment, but then I may walk by and see my friends with, ADM Animal Nutrition or Cargill.
Right.
And I'll stop and say, hey, look, I've got this problem, my horses are looking like this, or what do you got on the market now for, my cattle, yada, yada. And so they'll actually do some business relative to actual ranch work,
right? Exactly.
Trying to figure out what's best for their production. What can they do to enhance efficiency? So that's what's cool about the ranch rodeo is, sure, we've got this really awesome performance you can go watch, but there's a lot of other stuff that goes on that you may not ever think about.
You get that whole side. It seemed like it's all shopping.
Yeah.
And then the other side's got more of what a ranch owner would want to go through and see things differently than the guy who just wants to go see if you got cool shirts.
Yeah. So we got a little bit of thing for everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So. All right, we're going to get Chad on the phone.
Let's do it. Let's see if he's awake this morning.
And on the phone, we've got him, Chad Detwiler of Detwiler Cattle Company. I heard you had a lot of fun playing in the mud up there.
We did. It was quite the deal.
Did it pour down rain the whole time you guys were out there rodeoing, or did it take breaks?
It was pretty good there for the first section of bronc riding and the Brandon, and then at the first of the straight gathering it kind of started light rain, and then by about the third team in the doctrine, about the third team it was pretty much flood from then on.
Man, does it just get slippery out there just trying to hang on to anything?
No, the arena was about 3.5, 4 inches deep in water. It was pretty cool. Kind of like skiing.
Water skiing.
I'm gonna have to get flatter boots.
Yeah, bigger feet.
I was thinking the whole time I could imagine Cody just running out there and doing a big belly flop to get it over with, just pouncing right in the middle of it.
Well, it was a pretty good race to see who was going to get to rope him first, because you couldn't get off if you roped him, you couldn't get off.
Hey, that sounds like one that would be fun to watch. As long as you didn't mind getting a little wet, but just fun to watch you guys out there, because that just had to be a little bit of craziness out there after a while. I would imagine after a while you just kind of got to laugh at yourself and go, we just got to do the best we can.
Yes, sir, that's exactly right.
Well, congratulations. I guess we'll be seeing you here in about a month, or less than a month now, right, Lehman?
Yeah, less than. Yeah, congrats, Chad. We were just talking a little bit before we got you on, about going to kind of go back in history a little bit here. I was telling them you guys qualified last year, and you kind of waited a little bit, late in the game to actually get the ticket this time, but you got it done. Talking last year just a bit, everybody might remember, if you were at championship, the challenge that this bunch had, because old Chad decided to, what was it, a couple of weeks before championship last year, you just decided to break a leg or something?
11 days. 10 days.
See, he knows. 11 days to the morning.
Yeah, and
so
I guess
what happened there, Chad got to get crippled up and couldn't compete. And so, they just cowboyed up, I guess, as you would say, and the rest of the team got in there and got it done. And then a young lady that's sweet to Chad's heart, his daughter Sadie, she also was on the card and got to get in the pen and help the guys. So let's talk a little bit last year, Chad. What was that like for you, having to sit on the sideline and watch everybody, get in there?
Oh, it was a painful, proud thing to watch. It was painful to watch, but on the other hand, I was proud of my daughter for doing what she did.
Well, yeah, and you may not could tell. Chad is a sensitive fella underneath his gruff exterior, and
she had never been in a ranch rodeo before in her life, and went to the world's biggest one.
That is cool.
It is cool, and she did a deal. Was it a 4-H project where she had a speech, or was that FFA where she?
That was an FFA district officer. She ran for a district officer, and she pulled a sneak attack on me and she wrote a speech about that the day it happened, and then the finals, and didn't tell me about it, and then made me sit through about 5 minutes of it.
I got to see the video, and it was pretty cool. Her, her perception of what it was like to be a part of this experience with one of the team members going down, and then her excitement of knowing that, hey, I've got to step up. I've got to be there for, my family and my team to go in and compete. And it was a very cool moment. It was.
That's too bad we don't have her on the phone. I wonder if she's secretly hoping. You better watch out. She may.
Well, she's I think they might have fired me from doing the branding. So I think she may go in that again.
That's great. I was gonna say, is she itching now? Is she like going, man? When do I want to get back in there now? She get bit by the rodeo bug or anything?
Oh, she's in as long as she gets to go, and she's don't let her fool you. She may be sweet on the outside, but she's pretty competitive too.
Oh man! Well, we were so proud. The crowd had a great time last year supporting these guys, and I know they're going to be behind them again when they come into championship. But Chad, let's go specifically into Coffeyville. So with that rain, I'm sure that, and we were explaining how there's a lot of ranches at this one. It's a big rodeo, and everybody
there was 19 teams.
There you go, 19. So with the rain, does it change your philosophy? As you're adjusting, or do you just kind of stay hooked? How's the best way to go about that?
We went up there. We went up there with the mindset that we wanted to go win and get qualified. And of course, we were in the first section of bronc riding, and we didn't get along real well. Our horse really didn't buck. They kind of missed a flank on him. He didn't buck, and we scored a 65, I think, something like that. And from that point on, we just knew we had to go do the best that we could do. And before every event, we all, Cutter, Cody, and Randy, and I, and Sadie, we all looked at each other and said, "Hey, we got to go win these events. We got to go do the best we can do." And luckily, we drew good, and we got in a position to where we could go on. We thought we were further down in the points going into the cow milking. And when they called the cow milking off, and our hearts sank. We thought, oh man, we're going to be second place again or third place again. And that cow was going to get milked regardless. but we were very blessed, we took it. On them deals, you have to take it event by event and everybody on the team is going to go do their job to the best of their ability. So you just have to let the draw take care of itself and go through it event by event,
Well, you guys fared really good looking at the event places. So he talked about bronc riding. That one didn't quite go their way, so they didn't get any points there. Well, I think they got some points, but low on that ride. But then you go into branding, you come out of there with a third place, and then doctoring and sorting, they win both those events.
Oh yeah.
And Chad mentioned in this particular rodeo, the wild cow milking, what happened there, and the kudos to the committee and the judges for making this call. With it being so wet and muddy and sloppy, the cows they didn't need to be out there in that environment.
Right.
They just wasn't going to be good for those cattle, and so they actually called that event off. Yeah.
We're all, everybody that goes to these things, we're all cowmen of some type, and nobody wants to see one get down and, for a cow milking. It happens every day, but we're not going to go down there and jerk a cow down or have a cow get down just to have a cow milking,
Right.
And I was very impressed with the committee and the judges and everything too over that,
You bet. But you guys, you shouldn't have been all that worried. I could have imagined you were a little nervous, but everything kind of fell your way. It was, let's see, between first and second, it was a point and a half. Point and a half. So, I could see it. Maybe a little nerves there, little nerves. But winning two and 3rd and 1. And, I guess not having that 5th event, you were probably thinking, okay, how's that going to play into things? We didn't have a chance to catch up on any points there, but they got it done, man. They're coming back, and hopefully they follow through with putting you in that bubble wrap here for the next couple of weeks.
Well, we're going to ship some calves here in 2 weeks, and I'm pretty sure they're not going to let me do anything. But I'd like to say I'd stand over there and look pretty, but that's not going to happen either.
Well, just get horseback, and that way then you don't have to be on the ground. And
if they make you do that, make sure you get some big tall thing of coffee in a lawn chair or something and rub it in.
You just stay over there out of the way.
Barking orders. Hey,
right.
y'all aren't doing it right.
That's awesome. But
those guys last year, them 3 guys, they cut their guts out and went in there, and for 3 men and a little girl, they got along pretty decent last year at the finals, and I was very, very proud of those guys.
That's pretty cool.
For that.
Very cool. Is everybody pretty excited then to make it to win that last one? I mentioned
we drove 6 hours home after the Coffeyville rodeo, and I don't think anybody slept more than an hour on the way home.
That's great.
Well, they started texting me on Sunday, hey, we got to we're coming to see you. We're coming. So
that's awesome.
What a cool deal. Chad, congratulations, and got to see you and Cody at the office yesterday taking care of some stuff, and so it was great to be able to shake your hand and tell you congrats, and I know that everybody's going to come in, give it their all, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys.
Well, we thank you. We appreciate it.
See you, bud.
We'll see you.
Yes, sir.
Well, Lehman, you can hear the excitement in his voice, and you can just tell the whole team's pumped up and ready to be back down here for the World Championship. It'll be here before you know it, the World Championships, the 8th. We're talking just a few weeks away, man. So.
It's getting closer.
Yep.
Getting closer. Excitement is building, and November 8th through the 11th, 4 performances. Thursday, we start off Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We've got 7 p.m. performances. And then Sunday afternoon, 2 o'clock is the matinee on Sunday. And then we'll crown the world champion after that. So, it's going to be here before we know it. And we might as well go ahead and remind everybody, your tickets, if you have not gotten your tickets, Saturday is sold out. Friday is really close. There's probably a few seats here or there. So if you've not gotten your tickets, really look out there for Friday. And then, of course, Thursday and Sunday, there's seats available. You and your family come out and have a good time, have a good experience. We'd love to have you. Yeah. So WRCA.org.
And they do the church on Sunday morning, right?
Yes, sir. Cowboy Church.
I know it's on the website. Is that pretty? I would imagine a lot of people think it's not open to everybody.
I'm glad you said that. It actually is completely open. Our crew that puts that on, Randy Bird and Jeff Gore, they do a great service and beautiful music. A good lesson will be presented, and so come see us if you are local and you just kind of want to see what Cowboy Church is all about. Come out, or if you are traveling in and can't be at your own church for Sunday morning, come see us.
I'm guessing a lot of people assume that's because it's there at the auditorium and everything. They think it's just for the Cowboys who came in from out of state or out of town or whatever, just to worship at. But,
that's true. Yeah.
Come by. You make a lot of new friends. I guarantee you that.
And a great message. They always do a great job, and it's a very timely message oftentimes with what's going on around us, and I think you'll have a good time there at church.
Excellent. That's 10 a.m. on that Sunday. A lot of you might even go to an earlier service to where you do both. So you may go to your regular church and then come by the church morning, down there. Yeah. So individual awards. How did people fare?
Well,
in Kansas,
top horse and top hand kind of dominated by one ranch. It was really kind of cool. Yeah, Gray G Bar Ranch, which they were 3rd place overall, but they actually had top horse and top hand. Top horse is Jason. Is Jason Vogel riding Playcat T. Playcat T. Lots of Lots of kitties and cats.
Nothing like that last one.
Last week.
Was it Peppy Kitty?
Yeah, TRR Peppy Kitty. I got a good laugh. But Play Cat T, a sorrel gelding that is actually owned by Jason Vogel and ridden by Jason Vogel of Grade G Bar. Congratulations and thanks to AQHA, as always, for supporting our equine athletes and recognizing them for what they do. And top hand, also from Grade G Bar, was Kevin Lawson. He took home the Wrangler Top Hand of the Week award. So congrats to Kevin. And congrats to Grade G Bar for kind of cleaning house there on those individual awards.
Now, a lot of those guys show up at the World Championships. So just kind of.
Yeah, they'll come hang out, come see. They, of course, it's painful on them because they want to be in the pen, competing. But they'll still come down, bring the family, and get to see all their friends.
We hear so many names of these, and I'm sure people have been at the rodeos to see those people and to see their horses or just to meet them or whatever. We need those guys. A lot of those guys hopefully will make it down here so we can shake their hands too.
You bet. Yeah, tell them thanks. And some of them just can't, like we talked about before. Just work going on at home. They can't. They can't get away.
Yeah. But I try to explain to people all the time because I think people just still hear WRCA and don't realize that working ranch cowboys. And I think sometimes that just gets thrown out there like it's just a part of the name. Like Cumulus Broadcasting, you know what I mean? It's just part of the name, but that working actually is an adjective. It's exactly, it describes what the foundation is and what it's working ranch cowboys. These are working ranch cowboys. One of those rare times where the actual name actually means exactly what it says. Working Ranch Cowboys Association.
It is kind of a unique aspect
of the
competition.
Aspect, yeah.
These aren't professional athletes.
No, but it's funny because I've had to explain it over the last year since we've been working with you guys so much. I've had to explain that to people so many times. Okay, you have bull riders who travel the world, and that's their profession, just like a musician is a traveling musician, and they travel the world and they play music. You're a Brad Paisley or a Kenny Chesney, you know what I mean? And then you have the guys, who are just here, and you can see them a couple times a week because that's what they do for a living. It's not, or they might do it at night and work a 9-to-5 job. It's the same way. These guys are actually working ranch cowboys. They don't travel the world just riding bulls. They actually do this on the weekends, and they come back home during the week, and they've got a job to do. So they don't always get to make it for a championship rodeo because they got somebody's out and they got to cover or something. So the working. I have to explain it. It's really kind of a neat. I've been educated myself for the last couple of years of working with you guys, but it's the working ranch cowboys.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's true. And you can always a good lesson on how that works is a lot of times whenever we make these calls to guys, they're horseback, and you can hear mama cows in the back. Talking to you and this and that. So these guys will be working right up until the day they load the horses up and come see us. And unfortunately, there are some. Not everybody can be gone from the ranch. So some of the employees and whatnot will have to stay behind and not get to make the trip. But that's just the way it goes. Yeah.
Yep. So they can't always make it, but you can.
Y'all come get away. And we talked about the tickets, WRCA.org.
Yes.
Craig, that is the home to go find all your info.
As soon as you open it up, click the logo. Click the World Championship Ranch logo. As soon as and it comes up, the first thing you need to do is get your tickets. There's a purchase your tickets link. Next thing you need to do is book your hotel. They got the best rates. They've working with these hotels. And so that's the next thing. Book your hotel. And then start to make your schedule out. It's got the complete schedule there. And then you can scroll down, and if you've got some spare time in there when you're not shopping or you're not watching a rodeo, you can catch some of these entertainers, and they've got little bios of all the entertainers.
Our poets and musicians.
Yep.
Yeah.
The website's laid out perfectly, step by step, of everything you need to do, starting with your tickets.
and the other thing we want to remind everybody, we talked about it last week a little bit, but we've got a WRCA mobile app now.
Yes, I forgot about the app.
And so go to whatever app store you use, whether that's Android or Apple or whatever all that means, but go to your app store and just simply search for WRCA. You'll find us. download that app. It's a new thing that we've got. And all of the info that you need regarding championship is on there. But then also anything WRCA, anything that you need to know about us or any work or business you need to conduct with us, you can do right from that app. And we're very excited. So please go download that and be keeping up with everything that's going on through that mobile app.
Yep. And we'll be reminding you again. Now we don't have any rodeos. That was the last one. Mm-hmm. So next week, I'm sure we'll be talking more foundation and world championship and getting ready and all that. So
yeah, getting into the run of championship. And before we close out, say thanks to Titan Fuel Tanks.
Yes.
Again, they've helped us present our weekly Sanction Rodeo results, and really looking forward to those guys being at championship for the first time. They'll be here showing off their products. So come out and meet the guys from Titan Fuel Tanks and see all the stuff that they offer. We really glad to have them as part of our family this year.
Yeah, looking forward to shaking their hands too this year. Excellent. Well, man,
we got through it.
There
were no turkey calls. There were no.
You guys having a deep breath now? Now you got is there like a 2-day lull?
Oh,
or you just go, okay,
no,
last rodeo's over.
No, there's no deep breath
in lull for 2 days.
It's taking a deep seat and just getting every day's an adventure. But we are working hard to put on the absolute best event humanly possible. So all of our board and staff and volunteers, we are hard at it every single day, and we're doing it because, number one, we love it, and number two, it's for a great cause. We got to remind everyone, sure, we do this because we enjoy having a good time, but we actually are trying to raise money to support our foundation.
It's a big year-long fundraiser.
Absolutely.
It really is.
Everything we do is geared towards trying to put money in the bank to give away.
Yep.
And we give away a lot of it to our working ranch cowboys and their families. So please